Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. As I told you, we're 7 shows away from number 500. And one of our co-hosts today, Dave Gabbert, was suggesting that we bring all the balloons in here. But we're in quarantine right now, so I may not be able to get all those balloons in 7 weeks. For that. Dave Gabbert and Gene Smith are our co-hosts. Of course, they're not in the studio due to the quarantine, but they are on the line, and they're anxiously listening for this first guest of the morning because he's got quite a story to tell about a recent victory in the Yeti Bassmaster Elite up at Lake St. Clair. Oh, that's easy for me to say. For Lake St. Clair. Really excited. Always love Emily Harley. She gets me these great stories, and this is really a real quick turnaround for this guy, Bill Weidler. Good morning, Bill. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
We're doing great, and I don't want to waste a lot of time on short stuff, but I know winning that title up there, and I've read a lot of different things, Bill. I know you've been at this for a pretty good while, and when you can cash a check like you cashed and the way you did it up there is pretty remarkable. You had the mechanical problems, all these different kind of things. You're a largemouth bass fisherman, and you're fishing in a smallmouth bass hot spot, everything going. Talk about winning up there, buddy, because it had to be a real heart thumper for you up on the stage to win that thing.
It did. Going into the event, I did not expect to, have really a great finish. I was just looking to survive at least one northern swing event so we could get back down south. And, I went into it with an open mind and tried to put everything behind me because I'd had such a bad year mechanical-wise.
Yep.
And, I just ended up stumbling across some areas that I thought could be the winning spots, man, and I pulled the Mike Iaconelli. I never gave up. I just put my head down and, kept working at it. And knowing going into it that I was a better fisherman than where I stood in the points and what I had portrayed out there, and I was determined to make a change that event.
And look what you had. 4 days, 86 pounds, 7 ounces. You won 100,000 and 500. Don't forget that 500. Nearly doubled your career earnings, Bill, in this one event. And walk us through it because I think, you were in 8th place at one time there. You're in that top 10. Tell our listeners a little bit how you were able to win this thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'll start on day one. I fished an area, and I was jumping back and forth. I had 3 areas I marked in practice that I thought I could really do well in. So I alternated 2 of them on day one, and I alternated the same 2 on day 2. And ironically, my weights were identical on day 1 and 2. I had 20 pounds, 8 ounces, and I made a little jump that day. Day 3, I really put my head down and committed to the area in Anchor Bay where I was getting my bigger bites.
Yeah.
And that morning, I really caught them pretty good. And it was just after noon. I knew I had a good noon bite, but I also knew I had 22-something because I was weighing everything. And I caught like a 380 and a 410, and it didn't help me. And I said, if I got enough to make the final day, I can't sit out here and stick all these fish. So I have to leave this area in hopes that I have enough to make a jump on day 4. So I did. I just bailed out on that area, and I went to another area, didn't catch anything else, and went to the scales. And, luckily I was in 8th place going into the final day. I always look at Bass Track when I get in, and I call my wife. I didn't look at it, and I call her when I check in. And the first words out of her mouth were, "Please tell me you have more than what you show on the scales." And I was like, I have 22 pounds, and you're telling me I'm not going to make the final day? And it had me worried, and we sweated it out. But, we finished day 3 in 8.
And so you get to that, and I understand that you were early in the tournament, whether it was day 1 or day 2, that mechanical problems forced you to go 25 miles an hour. I mean, I had
you were
puttering around.
Issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had mechanical issues on every event leading up to this one. And when I was moving around the lake, I was literally driving 25 to 30 miles an hour. You
Unbelievable.
could talk to the cameraman. They sat back and crossed their legs, and we
Because-
just loafed around.
That's not.
I checked in on days 1 and 2 30 to 40 minutes early.
You came
Just
in early.
That,
I
I was worried that something would happen. And the same thing on day 3. I came in about 20 minutes early.
Golly. And so, folks, you listen as we're talking to Bill Weidler and about his victory on the Bassmaster Elite at Lake St. Clair just in late August here. Just recently, this happened. So you get to day 4, Bill, and and you're in the hunt. And that competitive juice. I mean, there's some young whippersnappers out there, Bill. I know I'm not going to age you because I'm a geezer here, but you came in there with that mentality, don't give up, and things along that line, and got the win. And I think you said it was unbelievable. So talk about that.
Yeah, it's crazy enough, and everybody out there who has heard this story, some people haven't, and I'm going to share it because it was super incredible. Before I went down to St. Clair, I ran across a song by Crowder called Red Letters.
That's a great song, yes. Yeah.
It was a good song. It really touched me, and I found myself listening to it quite a bit. And on competition day, it's the first time I've ever done this, I put my headset in, and I was listening to that song. And on days 3 and 4, I really leaned on it because, when I started playing the song, there's photos of me on the water. You can see where I'm actually raising my hands.
Yes, yeah.
I was actually praising God out there for what he had done for me to that point. And I had a total calm on me the 3rd and 4th day, especially the 4th day. And every time I would play that song, I would find fish. And when I would hook a fish, I would play it because it would relax me.
Yes.
And I say this, and I know there's believers and non-believers out there, but what he did for me was incredible. I'm a believer.
Yes.
And I give him all the praise and glory for what happened in this event, because truly, if it wasn't for him moving in me during these 4 days, or those 4 days, I don't think it would have happened. I can't take credit where credit's due, and I give him the credit. I caught him, but he did everything. Well,
as a believer here, Bill, that's why I wanted you on this show. I'm an outspoken believer. In fact, at a choir get together at my church the other night, we talked about that song and talked about Crowder. Of course, we're talking about Big Daddy Weave. If you folks out there don't know who we're talking about, tell them who Crowder is.
Yeah, David Crowder. He's a Christian music singer.
Yes, he is.
And it's he's, and I'm not one of those guys. The crazy thing about this is I'm not one of those great religious guys that runs around with a Bible in my church and always preaches or talks about things. I would never do that. If my preacher had asked me to go on stage in front of 10 million people and give a testimony, I would have looked at him with one eye cocked up and been like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah.
That's
not you. This is you right here. You're a bass fisherman that got some guidance. So I'm telling you what, when I read that and everything, and of course I got to throw in, and I know my guys are listening to that rod too, TFO rods. I'm familiar with those folks, and you're using a walleye rod, right? I mean,
I was, it was before we went up north. I got with the guys at TFO, and I said I really want a longer rod.
Yep.
That was really soft.
Yeah.
Because I had problems before keeping fish hooked up because the rod was too strong.
Yes.
And I remember I was talking with Jim over there, and he said, "Well, I got a walleye rod that's a 7.6 medium light," and I was like, "Perfect." And he was like, "Really? You want a rod that long?" And I said, "Yeah, that'll be perfect." And that's the one on day 4 that I locked in my hands because I switched to 6-pound line, and I really needed a
6-pound line.
rod.
Yeah, 6-pound line. Y'all hear him say that? 6-pound line. Because he knew he wanted to feel right. It felt in his hand right, and he walks right in. And I know, what does this do for you, Bill? I mean, you got some other things coming up. I know you'll be going back. You love Alabama. I know that. So what does this do to your career?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I really don't know where it's going to go. I got a long way to go. We just got through the half point of the season. I'm a pretty good ways out of the Classic. But I can tell you it was an incredible confidence booster.
Yes.
And it was an incredible eye-opening event to me to show how powerful our God is.
Yeah.
And I will lean on him through the last 4 events and give him all the praise, whether I bomb a tournament or whether I finish first again. I won't look back, and I won't try to tackle all these without him behind me.
And you know, folks, if I'm not right, you had not cashed a check all year, right?
That's right. That's right. I have not cashed a check. Now, everybody in the field does get paid, but really we talk about cashing a check when you get above 40,
yes,
because that's when you start making money, and I hadn't. And this was the first event that I had cashed a check. And ironically, part of the reason why I checked in early on day 2 was I knew I had enough weight to make a 40 cut. So I said, I'm going in and securing $10,000.
There you go.
And that's what I did. And I told my wife, I did it because we needed the money.
Well, we ought to.
And,
and
I did it again on day 3. I was like, I think I got the top 10, but I'm in good standings. If I break down, I could be out of it altogether. So I went back in early. Now, day 4, I didn't. I said, I'm going to hunker down out here.
Just hunker down. Yeah.
You're going to have to bring me home. So,
somebody grew up fishing the Coosa River, which I'm very familiar with. St. Clair's entirely different. Again, Bill, we really appreciate you being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. A great victory. It's got a lot of play for you. I know I'm on your likes now, buddy. That Facebook page is going to light up now. So a lot of folks in Memphis know your name. We're a hotbed for here, so just carry on. And if you get any calls from Darlene, make sure they're not collect or anything, okay? So
that's right. That is right.
Again, Bill, thank you, buddy. We appreciate you being with us, spend a little time with us, and we don't believe in luck here on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Just go out and do your talents, and we know you got that, okay, buddy?
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Guys, thanks for having me.
We'll stay in touch. We got your number now, okay? All right.
Yeah,
thank you, Thank you, Bill. All right.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bill Weidler, and you guys heard that. I wanted y'all to maybe comment about that. He'll be 51 here coming up at his next birthday.
He's a baby.
Yeah, but it's an inspiration. I'm just telling you.
Oh yeah.
When I heard this, folks, you're listening out there. Don't give up. You got a dream? Go for it. Okay? You got a dream? Go for it. All right. We're going to take a break. We got a dream. We're going to let her play here in just a minute. Our dream girl here is here with her box trumpet. Hang on. This is Outdoors with Larry Ray.